I am so fucking angry about what is happening in Albania. You know, I took a break from social media because being an American is hard right now. It's exhausting. Every day there's some shit that's happening and no one is doing anything to stop it. We've got a pedophile running the country. We have the most corrupt first family ever making billions of dollars while we struggle. And we're stuck in this goddamn war with Iran, which we should have never been in. But now, as an Albanian, I'm furious that capitalism, colonialism, and Zionism have sunk their teeth into our land and our culture. So let's get into it. Welcome back to Radical Leftist Scum. I'm your host, Valdet Salimai. I am a proud Albanian, and that's why this is the first episode of season 2. We have to talk about what's happening because when you get to learn more about Albanians, you'll understand why I feel so passionate about this topic. Just for background, you know, there's different types of Albanians. My parents came from Kosovo. I was born here in the United States, but Albanian is my first language, and Albanian is a strong part of my identity. It is who I am. My Valdet is Albanian. Like, my first language was Albanian. How I understand the world comes from the lens of Albanian culture. So when I heard and learned what was happening, I was like, fuck, we got to talk about it because this shit has to stop. Like, I'm going to bring it up front. This shit has to stop. So let's talk about what's going on here. So the Prime Minister of Albania, Edi Rama, which Tashif Shananen, fuck that guy, with the help of the Albanian government, is selling land that was once considered a natural reserve to Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump. Yeah, Ivanka Trump, Donald Trump's daughter, and Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. So I want you to take a listen to this audio from Albanian magazine, who's been following the story. And I think this guy does just a really great job of breaking it down. So I'm going to play the clip, listen to it, and then we'll talk about it when it's done.
Protests are erupting in Albania over a massive luxury resort project linked to Jared Kushner, the son-in-law of US President Donald Trump, around the coastal area of Zvernec, near Vlore and Sazan, the country's only major island. The development is planned near the Narta Lagoon, one of Albania's most environmentally sensitive coastal areas, home to lush forests, wetlands, and migratory birds. Protesters claim that the Albanian government is allowing construction to move forward without proper transparency or environmental protections. Local demonstrators have even begun to tear down construction fencing and have accused Prime Minister Edi Rama's government of selling Albania's coastline to foreign elites. This is following amendments to the Albanian Constitution's Protected Areas Clause in 2024. Those in favor of the venture argue that the project will bring much-needed investment, jobs, and high-end tourism to Albania, which remains underdeveloped. Yet, many critics are adamant that it reflects a long-standing pattern of corruption in the privatization process of public land. They see a readiness in disrupting Albania's natural heritage in favor of connecting the government to global, political, and financial power. Of course, we at Albanian magazine will continue to monitor the situation closely, including providing a more in-depth analysis, which we will report directly from the Albanian South later this summer.
All right, so that was a really good breakdown, just to give you an idea of what is going on. But we know that there's this peninsula, in Vlore, which we'll talk about that too, near Lake Narda and the Vjosa River Delta. And this is a region that is one of the Mediterranean's last remaining semi-pristine coastal ecosystems. And like you heard in that audio, this region is known for flamingos, seals, and sea turtles who reside there under the safety of a nature reserve. But now that land is being sold so it can be destroyed and built on. And do you know where this came from? Fucking Ivanka and Kushner, they were on a boat near Sazan Island, and they got off their boat. They went on the island. So the island is the part of the biggest controversy here, Sazan Island. They got off the boat. They went hiking barefoot. And then Ivanka Trump, the fucking streak, decided that, oh, I want this. Yeah, so I want you to listen. I want you to hear it from her own mouth. So I'm going to play this audio clip of Ivanka Trump talking about how she came upon this island. Take a listen.
Project with my husband. I'm working on an incredible project with my husband in the Mediterranean. It's massive in scale. An unbelievable, beautiful 1,400 hectare private island in the middle of the Mediterranean. We were on a friend's boat and we stopped for a swim. Effectively, that's how we found it. We swam to the island. We went on a hike, barefoot all the way up to the top, and we were just captivated. And it stayed with us ever since. And over the course of many years, we developed the opportunity to help realize its potential and transform it.
This fucking bitch. Like, they came to this beautiful island where they could hike barefoot. And their immediate thought was, oh, this is a beautiful, beautiful island. This is a beautiful space that Albania owns. No, their immediate thought was, oh, we want to buy this land because they wanted to help realize its potential. Again, because a normal person would just appreciate the beauty of a natural preserve that belongs to Albania. But when you're a Zionist, though, any land that is not your land is now your land. They want to use this land, which, again, let me remind you, was under legal protection for luxury tourism development. There's so much controversy around this. And as I was, researching this more, I came across this article from New York Times. And the head of the Albanian Ornithological Society, Taulant Bino, who is an opponent of this plan, he said that one main issue was that no environmental impact report has been released publicly. And this is normally required for a development project like this. And of course, Prime Minister Rama said that it's still being researched, even though they're moving forward with the deal and the construction. So there is no development report. There is no environmental impact report, but we're still moving forward. Okay. That's weird, right? Now, here's the other thing to know about this. Every part of Albania is important, of course. But where they are right now, so Zvernec Peninsula is like a municipality that is located in Vlore, Albania. You have to understand the importance of Vlore to Albanians. Vlore has a very crucial part in Albanian history. It was in Vlore on November 28th, 1912, that Albania proclaimed their independence. That was the city where Albania became independent. So this is not nothing. We went from gaining our independence in that area to now Prime Minister Rama selling off the land to outsiders. And I say outsiders because I am like every other Albanian. Albania is our land, and it's our land as Albanians. And same for Kosovo. Those are Albanian populated people. We've been there forever in those areas. And I've already had my DNA. I'm 100% Balkan, and my ancestors have lived in that region for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So that's many Albanians are like that too. So let's get more into detail about like what happened. Because initially all of this land was blocked off, and the law was it was a nature preserve and there could never be construction. There couldn't be construction on it. Well, in 2024, the Albanian government changed the law on nature reserves, which previously stated no construction is allowed, right? Like I said, and they allowed construction to occur on this preserved land. Now, I always want to say it's always worth noting that the Albanian government is known for its corruption. Kosovo too. They are known for their corruption. It's obvious. Now, again, this was until 2024. Also in 2024, and this comes from a Politico article, Kushner unveiled plans for Affinity Partners, who invests in American and Israeli companies, by the way, to turn the site into a luxury resort. And in early 2026, he visited the area with his wife, Ivanka, cunt. And in a recent interview with Politico, Albanian Prime Minister Edi Rama confirmed talks were ongoing between the government and Kushner over the deal, which is set to include 10,000 hotel rooms. So now, here we have this business deal where construction and destruction of the land has the green light and is in progress. The other main problem, equally important, not secondary, this is equally important. So now we have this violation of the nature reserve of Albanian land being sold to outsiders. But the problem is the outsiders. Because Jared Kushner is known to be an ardent Zionist and is committed to the state of Israel. As Albanian people, if you look at our history, we have seen this shit before. We know what it's like for outside people to come and take our land from us. It happened to Kosovo. It happened to Albania. Both Albania and Kosovo have been siding with the Palestinians this entire time, not Israel. We are against Zionism because we have experienced the Zionist mindset from other countries. We know, we've seen this, and now it's happening. So let me give you a little more insight into Jared Kushner. So this is from the New York Times. A little bit of his personal background. Kushner was raised in a modern Orthodox Jewish household in New Jersey. His grandparents are both Holocaust survivors, and his family foundations have historically been major donors to Jewish institutions, including religious and right-wing causes in the West Bank. Now, here's something else you need to know. According to Politico, Kushner, who heads private equity firm Affinity Partners, has a separate real estate portfolio estimated at billions of dollars. This is where it gets really controversial. He also serves as Trump's special envoy for peace and is involved in diplomatic negotiations on Gaza, Iran, and the war in Ukraine. Critics have raised a lot of questions about the overlap between his business empire and political roles. Which I want then to take you all back. Do you all remember when Donald Trump posted that, I think it was like an AI video about the new Palestine, the new Gaza, and it was all these, again, it was like a resort and all these high-end things. Donald Trump had a similar vision for the Gaza Strip that was saying he's having the same vision that Kushner's having for Albania, for the strip of land that they bought, the Sazan Island. This is not a coincidence. Both of them, it's all creating these hotels and these luxury vacation places. It's the same thing. They're doing the same thing. Now, there's a lot of people that are saying that, Edi Rama sold Albanian land to Israel. Okay, so there's no real documentation or proof that Israel bought any land from Albania. But I would say this, given Israel's desire to expand into a greater Israel and even past that area, and the corrupt Albanian government always looking to line its pockets with cash, just like the American government, deductive reasoning indicates that Albanian land was indirectly sold to Israel. It was. This is a part of the equation. We can't pretend that it's not. There's a part, I think, God, I'm so pissed off for so many different reasons, but besides the violation of my people's country, is that none of this would be happening if it wasn't for fucking Donald Trump. I mean, honestly, at this point, I think it's clear that Donald Trump never won any presidential race. I think he was placed in the office by the Epstein class so that they could protect themselves. And if that's true, I also think it might be true that, obviously people have probably heard Jeffrey Epstein was working for Benjamin Netanyahu. So, of course, now Netanyahu has all the information he needs to control Donald Trump via blackmail of the Epstein files. And that's what the fuck he's actually doing. Because if you think about it, if Trump never became president, Netanyahu would not have as much power and support as he does now. If you all remember, and I've seen a couple of video clips of him talking about Netanyahu, he tried for decades to get the United States to enter in a war with Iran with this fake constant threat of nuclear weapons that was imminent, that was going to happen in 2 weeks for 20 years. And it never came to fruition. In fact, one Reuters article showed that the Pentagon told Congress there was no sign that Iran was ever going to attack the U.S. first. And I had friends that are Zionists who honestly believe that Iran was a threat. And much like Palestine, they support what is happening. Now, of course, when I spoke up, they called me anti-Semitic, and one of them said I would turn her into the Nazis, and I was like, okay, sure, Jan. But they live in a propaganda machine, and I digress. But the villain of this story, for me, is Edi Rama, the Prime Minister of Albania. And I know I've been watching the protests, which we'll talk a little bit more about. I know that the Albanian people want that man behind bars. They want that man removed out of office. That man, Edi Rama, is a fucking asshole. The same man who made fun of Donald Trump on camera is now doing business with his slime bag corrupt family. And not only is he doing business with them, y'all, he is committed to this deal. And he recently said on a video, and I quote, I'm going to play he says it in Albanian, so I'm going to play it anyway for anybody who speaks Albanian. But what he said in English was, as long as I am in power, Kushner and Ivanka's investment will never be revoked. So not only did he do it, but he's like doubling down. So for my Albanian listeners, I just want you to hear his voice when he says it. And I hope that it just moves you the way it moves me. A lot of anger. Here you go.
Asnjë shans që investimi të ndaloj sa kohë unë do jem këtu. Dhe ndërkohë, unë jam absolutisht I hapur, siç kam qenë edhe në rastet e tjera, për të diskutuar me çdo që ka pretendime.
Look, at this point, and I know what I'm about to say is just complete speculation. I'm just talking shit. But I almost believe, was Edi Rama also in the Epstein files? What other fucking reason besides that lining his pockets with money would he buckle down this hard? Because he's not stopping there. There's more that's happening. So according to, and I got a couple sources here, according to Cost Data Instagram account and the unitedwithisrael.org website, Albania and Israel have signed an agreement to strengthen cooperation in agriculture. The agreement focuses on modern farming practices, food security, and sustainable management of natural resources. Mind you, Israel also voted a while ago that food is not a human right. But now they're doing this agreement. But here's the part that's really fucked up, and I want you to just listen to this part. As part of the initiative, 12 Israeli companies will come to Albania to share their expertise. Yep. 12 Israeli companies will come to Albania to share their expertise. So we have 12 Israeli companies who are going to set roots in Albania. Where? I don't know. Everywhere, somewhere, it's 12. And so the last part of that is the deal is one of several agreements signed as the two countries deepen ties. Nobody fucking wants this. But I share this with you because, you know what? Now Albanians know what they need to do. I'm going to fucking scream. I cannot believe that Edi Rama is taking Albania to this level, what he's doing to this country. I think that, honestly, I was thinking about this recently too. I think, as somebody who works in leadership development, they say, and I talk about this regularly, the higher up you go in leadership, the less empathetic you become. And I think Edi Rama is a fucking idiot, this fucking badal who forgot who Albanians are. We've been through it as people throughout history. Just look at our history as Illyrians. Look at the Ottoman Empire. Look at our journey through the Ottoman Empire. Our lands are predominantly a majority Albanian, and yet foreign entities have always moved against us to take our land. And, people who are not Albanian may not know this, but all Albanians believe this one thing. We are Albanian before anything else. We have such a strong sense of community and identity because we've gone through things together. Did Rama think he could really just like sell off, preserved Albania land and nothing would happen? Did he think that just because Albania is poor, that Albanians would give up land as easily in the name of quote unquote tourism? I mean, did he really think that this particular plan would help get Albania to join the European Union by 2030? Because that's his goal. Because let me remind you all, what Kushner plans to build is for the wealthy class who will visit there. It is not for the locals. It is not for the Albanians there. And it's not for people like us. Albanians will never see a dime, and they will lose their country in the name of capitalism and Zionism. And this is colonialism by definition. We have people who are moving in and taking over our land. And again, you think it's just going to stop there? We already see those 12 Israeli companies are now going to be coming too. How long before this spreads across Albania? How long before we're colonized? But God fucking knows who. But apparently we are going to get colonized. Like how far? When do they start taking over Tirana, the capital? Right? When do they start moving to different other cities and vacation places? And the thing is, I just think, Eddie Rama's fucking stupid because I think he forgot that Albanians don't give a fuck. Like right now, I've been so proud to watch all the protesting in the streets and fighting back. I mean, protesters are tearing shit apart. They are flooding the streets in massive numbers. I've also learned that these protests are being blacked out from Albanians in Albania. Like they can't see it on their television. And I thought to myself, well, what other quote unquote country has been doing that? What other country likes to black out their media and limit what people can see? Yeah, you know who. And then I think about what is happening, right? Especially with like these blackouts and the controlling the media. If you ask Albanians about one of the previous leaders of Albania, Enver Hoxha, everyone hated Enver Hoxha when he ran Albania as a communist regime. And there are some Albanians who are afraid that a project like this could actually lead to a democratic backslide in Albania. And this comes from Enver Hoxha's communist rule. People fled Albania when democracy died, when they lost their right to religion and all these other things. This is a reminder. This is an echo of Enver Hoxha, but it's worse. But one thing is happening is that these protests by mainly younger Albanians is about democracy and inciting change. And what I appreciate, I don't know if you all know this, but Kushner actually tried to do the same thing in Serbia in 2025, and they were met with so much resistance that eventually Kushner had to pull out. And so really, I really believe, my brothers and sisters in Albania, if you keep this shit up, do not stop, keep going, you can chase them out. And then also hoping that, I believe that Eddie Rama is Catholic. That man has no God. That man, skazat, he has no God. I can't, but I hope he lives. I hope he lives the fucking life he deserves after this. But I can promise you, Eddie Rama will be remembered way worse than Enver Hoxha. That's going to be his legacy. This moment is Eddie Rama's legacy. That when he betrayed Albania, he betrayed his people for money, for Zionism, whatever. So I want to leave you with this to my fellow Albanians. Keep fighting. Keep resisting. Don't let them do this. You are going to make the change and you are going to stop this. Much love to all of you, and I hope that this comes to an end soon. I'll see you soon.